What's up, guys? It's Ivy here, and today we are going to figure out what happens when you put 500 flamingos into one habitat. So I've been dying to know what happens ever since I saw on here that you can have 500 flamingos in one single habitat, and I've got to know what happens. So you actually cannot type in 500 here or anything over 100. So we're just gonna have to guesstimate and see what. So multiply by 5. So we're gonna need a pretty big habitat for this. Let's see. Let's just go ahead and jump into making them a habitat real quick. Alright guys, here is just a really simple habitat for them. I'm going to go ahead and start the task of having to get 500 of these guys, and I'll see you back whenever I get them. So fun fact, guys, your storage bin gets full after 200 animals in it, and you can't get any more after 200, and I had no idea. So anyway, let's go ahead and try and get these guys into the habitat here. I'm just gonna pick a random path. I don't really care too much on this. Let's get this around here. And then we're going to put a trade center or 2 or 3 really close by, so then they don't have to walk that far. Animal trade center. Okay, so we'll do 1, 2, we'll do 3 of them, and then we need some people to get this over. So let's hire a couple keepers. Okay, and then let's go back in here and let's hire a couple of caretakers. And then let's hire a couple vets. And it's going to yell at me for not having anything other than a trade center in here. I am aware, but we will deal with that later. Let me make sure. I think they can walk down that. Let me just smooth it out a little bit here. Okay, perfect. And let's start working on getting these animals over, please. Okay, send to zoo. I hope my game does not crash. All right, and let's see how long this is gonna take. I'm going to put this as fast as it'll go. Let's see. Here they start going in. See what 200 looks like in here. And of course, we've already got a diseased animal. We got all hands on deck to get these guys in here. Already 100 and almost 200 people in here to see these flamingos. Oh my gosh. Look at that. All right, let's pause real quick. I want to see how many more we have to go. 142 still left in here. Okay, so there's a bunch of seriously injured animals. I'm gonna pause it real quick and just take a look at these guys and see. Surprisingly, they still have more than enough space. They're mad about their shelter and the terrain, so we will fix that real quick. Be right back. All right, guys, and we're back. I added some quarantines, and I added some more vets and more staff members here. Let's go ahead. We have got facilities without power. Let's just give them some power. Why not? Want to at least make this somewhat work. No, transformer. And just shove that in there. And then let's see how many. Okay, so we've got, this is 200 flamingos. 200 flamingos in here. Walking right up to the guests, saying hey. All right, let me go get another 200 and I will be right back. All right, guys, we're back with another 200. So this is going to make our count up to 400 flamingos in this habitat. Let's get it going. Okay, guys, let's see how many we are still waiting for. Only 10 more in there, 6. So we are about there at 400 flamingos into one habitat. Let's see here. And they still have plenty of space. No complaints except for their hard shelter. Only 2% of them are covered. I don't think there's really much I can do about that, but we will see. Give me 1 second. Let me see what I can do about that. So I threw these 2 African shelters down, and that still did absolutely nothing. They are still at only 10% for their hard shelter. They are not doing very well there, but overall they are pretty happy. Not a whole lot of enrichment, but overall surprisingly way better off than I thought that they would be with 400 in here. I'm trying just to make them a little bit happier. We've got a bunch of keepers in here taking care of them. We still have a bunch of diseased animals and injured animals that our staff members are trying to take care of here. And so there is these 400, and let's go in and get another 100. We're going to see this thing through to the end. All right, guys, we have another 100 of the flamingos in here. We're going to select them all, send them in here, and see what happens when we have the 500. All right, guys, we should be nearing the end where they are. Yes, okay, so perfect timing. They are all in here now. This is 500 flamingos. So if we've learned anything from this is that if you have 500 flamingos in a habitat, it is darn near impossible to have their hard shelter be in the green. You can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelters down and it still do absolutely nothing. And surprisingly, these animals are still breeding and they are having babies, even though there are already 500 of them in here. They are still just happy as can be, it seems. Let's see. 539 is actually what we are at. I've guessed that during our fiasco of getting all the flamingos in there, a bunch of them have bred and have had offspring. So we are at 543 now, and it just keeps climbing. See, social, I am so surprised they are still good. Social group 100, they are not mad that they are over 500. Food-wise, I just have a couple of bowls down, not that many, but they seem to still be okay with all of that. The keepers seem to be keeping up with it rather well, too. We have 530 people in here to glance at our 500 flamingos, over 500 flamingos. So yes, if you guys were ever wondering what happens if you put 500 flamingos into one habitat, this is what happens. It actually goes a lot better than I thought it would. Just make sure you have, let's see, how many staff members? Just make sure you have 21 vets, 18 keepers, and a couple of caretakers. And you'll be set. But thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Hardly Ivy. I appreciate you guys stopping by and being just as curious as I am about what happens if you put 500 flamingos in a habitat. But yes, I hope to see you guys all in the next one. Bye!